I know I had to do it. I didn't do it. You know that you need to do something, and so you start and then you stop. Are you doing that? And it's just kind of like, man, I know I need to get this done. I know I got to clean this office, as an example. I know I got to get this office clean. Oh, you know that you got to get done, but you're not getting it done. You know you got to go to the gym, but you're not getting it done. Listen, let me help you to understand a couple of things that might give you enough of a hack to go ahead and fix the problem. And it's actually not even a problem. Let me take it back, because I don't want anybody to think that something is the matter with you because you're not doing something that you know that you need to do. It could just be simply that you haven't built up that skill set yet. You haven't learned the skill set and you haven't applied the skill set. But once you are intentional about learning and applying it, it'll just become like everything else that you're doing. So the first thing that you always want to do is get your mind right. You have got to get your mind right, okay? So I want to think about this a little bit differently, because when you know that you have to get something done, it sounds almost like a chore, or like somebody's forcing you to do it, as if the decision isn't yours. But in all actuality, all you're doing all day long is making choices. You're just making choices all day, right? From the time you wake up in the morning, from the time you go to bed at night, all you're doing is making choices. And you get to choose. You get to decide. And I know some of you are out there like, bullshit. Don't do it. Think about then what? And then what? Right? You make a decision, and then what? Think about it. You don't go to the gym. You don't lose weight. You don't change your eating habits. You don't lose weight. In fact, you may be gaining weight. You may be in this predicament because every time you step on the scale, you've gained 1 or 2 more pounds. So you've been slowly gaining weight over time. And if you don't want to go to the gym, just think about it. Okay, I'm not going to go, because the choice is yours. What are you choosing? Are you choosing what you want, or are you choosing what you don't want? Are you choosing the fupa? Or are you choosing to live a fit life? If you choose to have the fit life, then you choose to go to the gym. You choose to eat better. Same thing for the office, right? If you want to be working in a good environment and you said, listen, I've been reading these books. I know I need to be tidy. I know I need to be organized, but I just don't want to. I know I could choose it, but okay, let's go a little bit step further. Let's go into understanding the pleasure and pain principle, okay? There is a pleasure and pain principle that your mind operates under. When the pleasure outweighs the pain, then you do it. Okay, so there's a change. We're going to look at this 4-square grid. You have your change or not change. You have your pain and your pleasure. When you want to make a change, when do you get the pain? It's now, right? It's now, because now you have to do the thing. Now you have to, maybe spend some money for a gym membership. Now you have to plan out your meals. You have to do meal prep. Now you have to get up and go to the gym like today. And so the pain of the change is now. When do you get the pleasure? Later. You get the pleasure later, because later you'll be able to wear that size 7-8. Later you'll be able to wear the 9, 10, or whatever your goal is. Later, you'll be able to enjoy being in this clean office. Now, when you think about, I said your pleasure has to outweigh your pain. So if you're like, man, all the pain is like front loaded and all the pleasure is later, which is another reason why you're not doing it. So you have to move the pain back a little further. You have to move your pleasure up a little further. And you have to have both. You have to have both. At work, we call it the carrot and the stick, right? The carrot is usually an incentive. You're incentivized to go to work. You get a paycheck, right? And then the stick happens because there are expectations that are set, right? You get a job. Your job has minimum expectations. They expect you to do certain things. They expect to get a certain level of production from you. And if you're not hitting that, then that's when you get written up. You could possibly lose your job for, not meeting the expectations. So that's the stick. Do that to yourself. Give yourself the carrot and the stick. I'll use the example of cleaning your office. So you want to clean your office. The pain of it all is now, because now you got to get up, you got to go get the vacuum, you got to move stuff around, you got to clean up now. So the pain is now. The pleasure that you'll enjoy sitting in your clean office tomorrow when you go to work or you do some work in your home office, and you'll enjoy that later, but let's move it up a little bit, right? So you get some level of pleasure from taking action. The problem is it doesn't last, because when you very first do it, you feel good about yourself, like, yeah, I'm getting it done. I'm doing what I said I'm going to do. And then you got to keep vacuuming. And then you got to take the trash out. And then you got to, clean the windows. You got to clean your paintings and all this stuff. So then it becomes more and more of a drag. Okay, this is how you move your pleasure or extend your pleasure, okay? So the little bit of pleasure that you get from knowing that you are taking action, extend it. Hopefully you guys are people that talk to yourselves. Talk to yourself. Honestly, when you get the vacuum out, do one action, pat yourself on the back, because you did what you said you were going to do. You say, you know what? I'm going to clean this office. I'm going to vacuum first. Go get the vacuum. And then go to the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror and say, yep, look at us. We getting stuff done. You getting stuff done, girl. Go ahead. Then you go in there and then you vacuum and feel good about yourself. And then you can even reward yourself. Give yourself a bonus for going through the whole room at once. Or if you did half the room, then give yourself, make your reward match your effort. You don't want to go overboard and you buy yourself the moon because you went and got the vacuum and then you actually didn't use the vacuum, right? You have to make it make sense. Okay, so you build yourself the carrot, but then you also build yourself the stick. If you don't do it, first of all, and then what, right? You're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to come back in this pigsty of an office, and you're going to keep working in that pigsty of an office. First of all, remind yourself of that. Okay? Second of all, then you want to not do something that you've been wanting to do. So if you know this weekend you had plans to go to a wine fest with your girlfriends or whatever, tell yourself, listen, if this is not done, I'm not going to go to the wine fest because I'm not making the right decisions. I'm not making the right choices. I need to make sure that I'm making the right choices. I need to govern myself before outside forces start to govern me. I don't want creepy crawlers in my office. I don't want somebody to come over and now I'm embarrassed because my office looks like a pigsty. you know, so whatever it is that you're making the decision that you're choosing to do, because remember, the choice is yours. You can choose to be a tidy person or you can choose to be a slob. Either way, you are making a choice. Okay? But then those creepy crawlers start coming in here. You can start getting flies and all that. You're still going to be comfortable. So it's like, and then what? Right? So, anyways, these are little things that you can do until your brain catches up. So if you're deciding to be a tidy person and you say, okay, when I make a Post-it note, I'm going to use this Post-it note, and then when I'm done with it, I'm going to ball it up and then I'm going to throw it away. That's one way to keep tidy. I did that and then I didn't throw it away. I'm going to actually throw it away. But yes, so then you do that and then you reward yourself, because I just threw that thing away. I'm gonna need a piece of chocolate. No, but build these things in for yourself and build these systems before, like, do it in the beginning when you decide to make the choice to do whatever it is that you've made the choice to do. So if you made the choice to be more tidy, then also at that time, build in your carrot and your stick. Now, one way to also hold yourself accountable is to have some tools, because sometimes you'll say, oh, I didn't do the thing just because I forgot to do the thing. It's not a habit yet. If you just decided to do something, you just decided to change and do something, it's not a habit. You might forget. In the meantime, you can use things like your cell phone. I use my cell phone all the time. Put stuff on your calendar. Like my Samsung Note will remind me when I get to certain locations. So I think most phones probably do this now. You can set it up to remind you that when you get to a certain location, to do a certain action, or at a certain time, take a certain action. So, as an example, if you know that you want to work out every day, or you want to work out 3 times a week, then you want to work out and you want to schedule it. You want to put that in your schedule. You want a reminder. You want some pop-up. And then go ahead and post it, your goal on social media. Now, I know there's mixed feelings about this. Some people believe that you should not tell people what your goals are. You should just pop up one day and, like, snatch me out the plastic. I'm brand new type of deal. I just want to pop up and be brand new. You can also have an accountability partner. So if social media is not your jam. Okay, so an accountability partner, something like a coach, a life coach, something like that, a career coach, where you share your goals and then they check up with you. So every week, it's like, they're talking to you about your progress. What did you do? How's your office? You've been keeping it clean? Have you been throwing things away right away? And how many check marks are you getting along the way? Are you doing what you said you were going to do? When you have an accountability partner and you have to, like, report back to this, same as if you had, like, your manager at work or something, and you had to talk about it, a little bit of you, a piece of you would be embarrassed to have to come back and say that there was no change, that you didn't change anything. Yeah, I know I had to do it. I didn't do it. And maybe you did that once, twice, but to do that every week, you're unlikely to keep doing that, because now the pain gets bigger than your pleasure. It becomes you're more uncomfortable to have to keep telling your accountability partner that you're not taking action. And then if it's like a weekly thing, or maybe even a couple of times out the week, maybe it's your best friend and she's checking up on you every day, and it's like, it's like now the pain is too big. So sharing your goals, I highly recommend, like, sharing whatever the changes that you've made in your life. that you are slow to take action on. You can post it on social media. I see people doing it all the time. They'll say, they'll post their before picture, like, this is my before picture, y'all. I'm getting ready to start working out. And they'll work out, and that social proof, that social pressure, a lot of times it's just great enough to cause enough discomfort to keep you going, okay? And then, of course, when you're setting your incentive or your carrot or your, the positive, the pleasure, you don't want to just have one big pleasure at the end. So, for an example, if your goal is to lose 20 pounds, if you wait till you get to 20 pounds before you reward yourself or give yourself any sort of pleasure, then you're not enjoying the journey, and then it's going to be more difficult. And most of the time, you would not make it. You need to be rewarded along the way, because again, you want to make the pain of your not change bigger. Sorry, there's like the grid. Okay, so we got to look at the grid. You want to make your pain of the not change too big, and you want to make your pleasure of the change bigger. So you want to be giving yourself pleasure along the way, along the journey. It's a lot of times why programs like Weight Watchers are so successful, because you might have a goal to lose 20 pounds, but when you lose the first 5% of your body weight, or the first 5 pounds, you get a trinket. It's like a little gadget that you put on your keychain. You get, you go in for your weigh-in. They congratulate you. You feel really good about yourself. And then they do those checkpoints along the way. So every week you have like a checkpoint. And if you're moving in the right direction, then you get rewards. And so you want to do that for yourself. Guys, I want to keep this video a little bit short. I was trying to stay under 15 minutes. So I think I just about did that. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. And I just want to say thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out another one of my videos. And if this is your first video that you've checked out from me, then by all means, please go to my page. Actually, I'm going to put a link to my video here or here. So if this is the first time you've been to my page, you'll be able to watch another video. And if you like my content, please subscribe. My goal is to have 500 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. So please subscribe to my channel. It will allow me to continue bringing you guys this content. And if you have any questions or about this content or anything else, drop it in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so I'm recording right there. Check. My mic sounds nice.